Hello. Well, today I'm going to introduce you to a new spaghetti recipe I have that I love, and I've been using it ever since I found it. It's fast. You use one pot. Let me show you how. I have my cooker here. It's cast iron. You need a heavy pot that has a lid. And in here, I already have a pound of burger and a half a pound of pork sausage. I also have a medium onion diced, and there's about a tablespoon of garlic on top of that. I have a half a teaspoon of dried oregano, a half a teaspoon of red chili flakes, a small can of tomato paste, 1 tablespoon of better than bouillon beef. I have a 28-ounce jar of tomatoes. Then I'm going to fill that with water and add it too. I have 2 teaspoons of sugar along with 1.5 teaspoons salt and 2 teaspoons of basil. I make my own. The recipe says more, but I do my own and it's kind of strong, so that's what I'm going to do. Now, I have here 12 ounces of spaghetti. This is a thinner one. It's just what I happened to grab. And you cut it up into half. Well, I did mine probably 5. I don't like the twirling. Neither of us get into the twirling. So I cut it up into pretty short pieces. And you do not have to cook this. It's going to be just like this. You can set your oven at 425. Let's start. As you can see, I'm cooking the meat. And when it starts to get brown, a little more than this, I'll add my onion. We're just going to let that simmer a bit. This is beginning to brown. Actually, it's doing pretty good there. So now I'm going to add the onion, the garlic, and a pinch of salt. I have added the onion and the garlic and a pinch of salt. Now I'm going to cover it and let it simmer 5 minutes. Now don't forget to turn your oven to 425. That soften those onions nicely. Now I'm going to put in the oregano, the chili flakes, and the tomato paste. Remember, this is a small can of tomato paste. Okay, let me stir this around. Get that worked in there. This is so easy. Okay, this was to be brought to a simmer, and it is there. Now I'm going to stir in the bouillon. Remember, better than bouillon beef. I'm going to stir that in before I add the other things. I'm going to turn that down a little. There, that's nicely stirred in. Now I'm going to add the tomatoes. This is a quart jar of tomatoes. I always like to stir around a little bit before I add the water. It is a quart jar of water, or the same amount of the tomatoes. This is 28 ounces. Now I have my teaspoon and a half of salt and 2 teaspoons of sugar. And I'm going to bring this to a simmer. We're almost done, you guys. This is ridiculous, isn't it? This is starting to simmer, so now I'm going to add my basil. I'm going to add maybe not quite all of it for our taste. Now, this is a good time to taste this and see if you want to change the recipe in any way. You might like it sweeter, you might like it, I don't know what. I'm going to try it. I'm going to add the rest of that basil. Otherwise, it tastes really good. Now, this is the last step. You guys, this is so easy. You put the spaghetti in. You're going to bring it back to a simmer. Alright, this is starting to simmer. I'm going to let it do this for 60 seconds, or 1 minute. Now, the one thing you're going to do is about every 5 minutes you want to stir this to make sure the noodles are down in the tomato sauce. See, you want them down in there or they won't cook. There, this is looking good. I'm almost done with the minute part on top of the stove. Now I'm going to put this in the oven without a lid at 425 for 16 to 18 minutes. Now I might even go a little longer, but every 5 minutes you want to make sure the noodles are pushed down so they'll all cook. And that is it. You are done. Okay, this is 5 minutes. The noodles are all down in there. It's working good. So I'm going to get it 5 more minutes. I know this is exciting, but I'm stirring it again at 10 minutes. All the noodles are way down in there, so I'm not going to stir it again. I'm going to leave it in there for 8 more minutes and it's done. You can literally have supper done in 35 minutes and feed a lot of people. I hope you can see this. 18 minutes and it's done. It is so tasty. And like I said, whoops, I'm kind of scrambling the table. I'll hold still. And you want to spice it up the way you want. It literally takes about 15 minutes to put together and then 18 minutes to cook in the oven, and you have 1 pot dirty and a lot of spaghetti. I'm going to dish some of this up. This is hot, steaming, and it is so tasty. Now, it even grows in flavor as it cools off and you reheat it. A very fast spaghetti to make for the family, and it is delicious. Give this one a try sometime. I think you'll like it. With some crunchy bread and Parmesan if you like. Until next time, bye-bye.